Joining me now, NAACP President and CEO Derek Johnson. Very good to see you again. Thanks for joining us today. An important day, but I guess the question is, how far is he going? Is he going far enough? What
this
more
is a great initial start.
To see?
A great initial start. In fact, as I look back in history, this is the only president that have started this aggressively, this early. Even Lyndon Johnson only did so in many cases under a level of duress and in public upheaval. This is a president that made a commitment during the campaign. I'll follow up with that. We have been aggressive to make sure it happened. And the fact that he's embedding this inside of the Domestic Policy Council shows the urgency and the gravity of what's taking place. But in addition to that, racial equity is system-wide. It's not about one thing or one function or one set of policies. It's everything we do, because African Americans, Latinos, and Asians, we are taxpaying citizens, and we just want an equitable return on the investment in this country.
And what about the judicial system? There has been so much violence against blacks, and the court system, at least according to any statistic that you look at, the Mitch McConnell approved Donald Trump judges are almost all white men.
No, unfortunately, the prior administration was aided and abetted by Mitch McConnell in the Senate to stack the court, to try to sway the future of this nation. We would encourage this president, we would encourage Leader Schumer to make sure we right-size what justice looks like in this nation. It's really important that we have a balanced court so that the Constitution can hold true to its creed, that all men and women are created equal and endowed with certain inalienable rights. That can only happen if we have a just justice system.
Symbols are also important. And I don't have to tell you that. We were also, according to Jen Psaki, going to see Harriet Tubman replace Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill. This was slow walked. It had been approved, 4 or 5 years ago, 5, I guess, years ago or more. And it was slow walked by the Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin. Why is it a very big deal?
Well, symbolism is important, substance is better. But at the end of the day, in order for us to be the more perfect union that we learn in class, we must have a history that represents everyone. The NAACP, we took on the fight in 1915 to oppose birth of a nation, because we recognize how we are viewed on the screen is how we will be treated in public policy and in the streets. And when we have a more representative set of symbols that really connote all of America and the significance that we've all played, it allows people to see the beauty and the diversity that we are as a country, and do away with this white supremacist mentality that has caused so much harm over time. And they are the true domestic terrorists. The biggest threat to domestic terrorism, to white supremacist activity, is true democracy. And the symbol of Harriet Tubman begins a next step of true democracy that's inclusive of all people, men, women, black, white, Latino, and all of us.
And of course, President Biden was the first president ever to mention white supremacy in an inaugural address. What do you say to Republicans who say that this focus on racism by President Biden is creating divisions?
But I think the focus on racism have been established by a set of conservatives who used race to try to score political points. And unfortunately, that tool of racism that was used so effectively in the southern region has now become such a national phenomenon. The only way to push back against it is call it for what it is, as you set a course to address and right-size that there is no superior race. That's what happened to Nazi Germany. There are no superior people. That's what happens when you create tribalism. There is one nation. In order for us to be one nation, we must see ourselves as one nation.
Derek Johnson, president of the NAACP, thank you for being with us today.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.